So I recently found a website called Webtoon. I'm not sponsored or anything by them, but I'm talking about them because the site sort of introduced me to a format of making webcomics I never really thought about and found I enjoy greatly. Usually comics are published in page form. Page comics require a moderate to heavy amount of planning. If you want suspense, you need to time the big reveal with the turn of a page so the reader's eye can't wander as they go through your comic. A lot of webcomics are in page form as well, but the thing with webcomics is that you can break the format. You don't have to rely on a page turn to hide something. Some platforms like Smack Jeeves are sort of tied to this one page at a time format, but places like Webtoon and Tapastic encourage a different form of comic, the long strip. In a strip form, you need to scroll to see what happens next. Your eye cannot wander to other panels without deliberately scrolling past what you're reading. Information can be hidden from the reader so much easier. Tension can be built so easily and effectively simply by placing panels further apart, making the reader scroll longer to find out what happens next, controlling the pacing of your scene more than you could with a page. On the production side, it's also something I found really works for me. For pages, you start on a blank canvas. You draw your page, and when you're done, you open another blank canvas and start on the next one. Comic pages have a very staccato workflow in my opinion. That's not terrible, it's just not exactly how my brain works. When I make my comic to publish on Webtoon, I start with a long canvas and I just draw. If I need more room, I make the canvas longer. What did I just draw and write? I can scroll up and read it again. Making a comic like this lends more to my stream of consciousness style of comic production. Surprisingly enough, I work very well without a script. Of course, I do have an outline of the entire story, but I do not have every line of dialogue written. I don't have every panel laid out. I don't know how people do that. I can't visualize a page until I start drawing it. I think very much with my hands. If I do get stuck on something, I will go into writing it into a bit more detail, but once again, it's not a full script. Some scripting may happen if I have a good few lines of dialogue in my head, but I will always do a bullet-style list first of what happens in a scene, and maybe write down some character emotions. Comics are a visual medium. If you like writing outlines without dialogue, let me create good wordless scenes. A picture is worth 1,000 words, so a comic is worth hundreds of thousands of words even before you add the dialogue bubbles. You should be able to understand the feelings of the characters without reading a word. Dialogue enhances the feelings and gives you more context about what's happening, but I try to make my drawings carry most of the weight. Anyway, back to the stream of consciousness thing. Drawing the long strip means I don't have to stop my workflow to make a new page. I can really get in the zone, so to speak, and let myself get lost in the comic. It's really a great format and one worth exploring. The one downside to this format is that I'll never be able to print my comic, but that's something I'm not too disappointed about. I've gone through the process of printing a comic before, and it's a lot of work and costs a lot of money I don't have. And really, I don't think I'll lose out much by not printing it. It's the digital age, and most people read stuff on their computers, tablets, and phones. Webtoon even has a mobile app for you to read comics on, so I'm already on a platform that utilizes some of the most popular ways of consuming media. By the way, you should totally download the Line Webtoon app on your phone or tablet and subscribe to my comic. It's a free app and you can read all the comics you could ever want for free. So I kind of want to start talking about more comic stuff in the future because that's what I do with most of my time. So if you have any questions about comics or stuff, leave them down in the comments. Also, if you want to give me $3, there's a link in the description for that. Thank you. Bye.